numbness in your foot, maybe on the ball of your foot, maybe on the top of your foot, probably not just a foot problem. I had a patient in the other day, and we're treating odds and ends and parts and pieces, and the new thing that has come up is there's numbness in my foot. And so we talk about kind of when it started, what was happening, and all signs keep pointing to her back. And it's challenging because it's very hard for her to comprehend that she doesn't have pain in her back. But Jen, my back doesn't hurt. Yes, I know, I hear you. At the same time, and however, I see as you walk, as you move, there is so much excessive motion that's occurring at your lumbar spine. You can see how these forces have affected alignment, how they've created compression and shear forces. And I can probably put down good money and do well on guessing what her MRI is very likely going to show. And again, super grateful that her back does not hurt. However, we've got to look at the big picture. And most people, they go to the podiatrist and they look at the foot numbness. And yes, let's rule out diabetic neuropathy, but let's talk about that as well. What role does lumbar spine play? What role does inflammation play on the health of the nerves? So we've got to look at the big picture of really everything. What are all the components? What are all the contributors to some of these symptoms? So I continue to be supported by clinical evidence. So what I see in the clinic, what I see in my family, what I experience in my own body. And this further confirms I'm sitting there playing tennis and my hamstring is chirping. I just came off a big, long road trip. So a lot of sitting. I'm sitting very well. I've got my pillow supported, but it's still a lot of sitting. And I have underlying vulnerability. I've got underlying disc damage that happened a long, long, long time ago. And it's still there. I just take really good care of it. A little inflamey this weekend too. A bit more sugar, a bit more indulging in the foods that drive my inflammation. So I'm not surprised that my hamstring's chirping a little bit in tennis. And as I played a little bit more, there's a little bit of numbness in my foot. So what I know is, all right, I need to get back into the gym. I need to get back into my engage work. I need to get back into my alignment stability, work on the mechanics, get all of that solid and stable again. I need to clean up my inflammation, lower that. And guess what? That numbness is going to work its way out of my foot. So things aren't always exactly what we think they are. Just because your symptoms are in an area, very rarely is that the primary problem. Very rarely is that the only problem. And why? Because most people treat that directly and they're not getting better. And those are the patients who come into my clinic. They've been to all these people and they're really looking in the wrong place. They're not looking at the big picture. They're not looking at the whole person. They're not looking at movement. They're not looking at inflammation. They're not looking at the nervous system. We've got to look at the whole person to help people restore optimal health. And when people get to a place of optimal health, structural, functional, cellular, nervous system, when their body is in an optimal place, they don't struggle with many symptoms and they're able to go and do everything that they want to do and not worry too much about the things that get in